Hi friends! Okay, I promised myself during my little quarantine that I was going to be making some videos. Some of them are refreshers for us and some of them are for our new babies. Hi new babies! To teach them how to do a proper consultation. We're gonna be putting these on our YouTube channel. So anybody can watch them. Our clients can see them and see the process that we go through and how it is that we come to what we come to engage with our clients and figure out what they want so that everybody leaves happy, right? So that's the goal, everybody happy. Okay, so to start with the consultation, as I've said before, it does not start like once you're in the chair with the cape on. It starts from the minute that you get to your client. So one of the things that I say is know who your client is, even if they're new, kind of pay attention, whatever. We don't, you don't want to seem like you're at like a big chain store calling somebody over the loudspeaker, Jane? Is there a Jane here? Jane? No? Oh, there you are, come on out. Doesn't make them feel as important. And they are important. All of our guests are very important to us. So basically kind of going up, introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Jay. I'm going to be doing your hair today. Thanks for coming in. Come on back. Let's see what we're going to do. I'm super excited because we are super excited. Sometimes we get caught up in the like daily and then, this and that, but we're always super excited. And we realize that there's a lot of sometimes anxiety that goes into, it being your hair appointment, right? So the anxiety that you've been thinking about this new cut or color for months and it's time, and what if she doesn't get what I'm saying, and what if he doesn't, know what color I'm talking about when I say don't want warmth. And so you've got 50 pictures on your phone, and like, how are we going to convey this to our stylist? How is the stylist going to ask the right questions to get you to where you need to be? Okay. So here's how we're going to eliminate a lot of, the questions, the whys, the ifs, the scariness. So what I'm going to say is that the first thing is, when I say the consultation starts before, first of all, your first impression. Hi, my name is Jay. Go up there with confidence. You have to be confident. We are confident, right? We know what we're doing. We've been taking classes for years. We went through schooling. We're the experts. So, hi, my name is Jay. I'm going to be doing your hair today. This is going to be an awesome experience. I'm super excited. Come on back. So we've got that. They come on back. And now I'm also kind of assessing some things, right? What are they wearing? And that's not to put pressure on how you have to dress at a salon, but you can kind of get a little bit of an idea of, are they a businesswoman? Or do they have a professional job where they're going to have to wear, a suit and tie, or dress? Are they dressed up? Do they have to be more conservative? Do they already have kind of like a funky style? So, they might be willing to kind of go to that side. A little bit more trendy, might be open to some of the newer trends or styles. Doesn't mean that if they're not there, we can't get them there. Just means first impression is kind of like me. Okay, I've got my hair curled back, and you're probably, with my hair curled back, you're probably not gonna do my hair all pinned straight down forward this way, right? You can kind of see what side I part my hair to. Paying attention to little facts like this is going to, make you a little bit more certain of what you're going to go to next. So now I meet them, bring them back. Are they kind of more shy? Is somebody doing more of this? Are they using their hair to kind of hide themselves? Do we need to open them up? Or are they a bold personality? Are they really bold? Are their features soft and kind of like, I don't want to say like weak features, but some people have weaker features, and then, or are they really accentuated, strong features that maybe we need to soften? Or are they softer features that maybe we need to strengthen? Okay, these are things that we should be paying attention to before we even ask any questions. Now I've got you in my chair, so I really, really, really should look at you in the eye. Hello. Hi. So how are you feeling about your hair? What do you like? What do you don't like? I don't know. Was that creepy? Because I can't see myself because I'm talking directly into the eye. Okay. So, but basically, just turn before you have a conversation. It's a lot less intimidating than talking from behind them in the mirror, like, I am the master. What do you want me to do? But if you turn them around and say like, hey, what's going on? Tell me about it. It makes it a lot more of a conversation. People are much more comfortable in a conversation than in like a doctor's office setting where you're like, tell me your problems from behind them at a higher, we want to get down here and say what's going on. So What are you liking and don't liking can tell you so much. Listen, listen, listen. Sometimes we don't listen. Listen to what they're saying. You know what? I like everything you did last time, but I still feel like this is bulky. I still feel like this is bulky. So in my head, I'm thinking, I got to get in there and see what kind of layering I did. Why is she still feeling bulky? You know? So is it just that her layers grew out and it's to a place she doesn't want to see them? Or do I need to maybe change up how I've been cutting her layers? Or if I've never saw her before, let me look and see what her old layers look like, because that's probably going to be a change. It feels so dry. I feel like my hair is so dry. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the weather. Okay, so that could be two things. That could be one, you need a haircut. Or also two, what products are you using? Okay, let's talk about the dry. So you brought up your hair's dry. So are you liking the length? Are you wanting it longer? Yeah, I kind of like the length. I don't really want to lose any length. Okay, well, we need to trim the ends to keep it healthy. At the very least, but at the same time, like, what products are you using to keep your hair from feeling dry? Like, what shampoo, conditioner? Are you using a heat protectant before you blow dry and curl it? Are you putting styling products in there? What are you doing? You know, you want volume. Somebody, I want volume. Be like, you putting anything in it? No, I don't really like hair products. Okay, so unless you have natural volume, I mean, I can give you a haircut that has volume in it, but if you don't put anything in there to kind of accentuate it, I mean, gravity is gravity. So that gives us an opening to talk about hair products as well, all from the get-go. Jason Baki had said to me that you've got like 15 minutes of their full attention. When people come in, they've got 15 minutes to convey what they want, have you understand them, and have you diagnose what you're going to do to their hair, and also what products you recommend. There you go. So starting with haircuts. So I start with haircut because if I start with hair color and I do this extensive hair color consult and then find out they're doing something with their hair, like a bob, and now my balayage went out the window. So let's figure out cut first. Okay, I really don't want to lose a lot of length, and I don't want any fringe or bangs. Fringe, I'm a hairstylist. I really don't want any bangs because I grew those out and I'm liking it better without them. But I do find that, you know, I get a little bit flat up here, so maybe some layers. Okay, those are the three parts of a haircut, okay? Length, layers, and fringe, okay? So those are the things we're gonna approach. So it can be really scary because we think when we first start doing hair, we're like, oh my God, there's 9 million haircuts. How am I gonna know which haircut this person wants in their head? Well, let's break it down. Length. If I want to leave my hair long, all the 9,000 haircuts in my head just got cut to, 3,000 because now I only get to use my long-haired ones. And she doesn't want a fringe because she spent all the time growing it out. So that eliminated another, third of those haircuts. So now I'm down to 2,000. And then with layers, she wants it here, but she's still growing. So now I need to find out what kind of layers I'm gonna do, okay? Does she like face framing around her face, kind of open it up, push it back, give her some fullness there? Because, do we want something that's gonna drag her down? She's getting a little bit older. Okay, so maybe she shouldn't have some string. I probably shouldn't do this. That probably wouldn't be good. Okay, so face framing is good for me. I'm okay with that because you always hear this like, you need to cut your hair short because you're getting older. The reason why they say that is because this is not flattering on people a lot of times when, if you've got, wrinkles or something, or this starts to bring down and then your hair's like this, it accentuates that. Okay, we don't want that. We don't want to accentuate and pull down. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have to get short hair yet. Okay, you can if you want to. I'm not against short hair. But I'm saying it doesn't mean that. It means what's around your face needs to be shorter, opening up, lifting, lift. Okay, facelift right there. This side, old, not facelifted. This side, hello, how young is she? Okay, so keep that in mind that when people think, am I getting too old for this? Not necessarily. It's what's happening around the face. The fringe, this, is this open, is this light and airy? You could have really short hair and still have this really severe straight thing that's pulling you down and making, your features sag a little. Don't want that, I'm aware. speaking for myself here. Okay, so that being said, you know, am I doing a fringe? What kind of layers does she want? Now, length. When I talked about length, if for some reason I said I wanted 4 inches cut off, do not go, so like here, because guess what? I'm gonna go, because I still see my length. So I really don't know what 4 inches looks like on me. Now all of a sudden you go like this and go, so you want 4 inches off? And I'm like, no. Let's go down, maybe 2 inches? Oh yeah, 2 inches, okay. So show them by flipping it up. People are visual, they need to see. Okay, so there's that. Also, length, here's another fun tip. This is what I perceive my length to be. You have some people that will have length that's here and I might say, I only want a trim. But in the back, I've got something going like this with like 5 inches of dead stuff in the middle. I never look back there. I don't know what's going on back there. So don't be afraid to say, ooh, okay, we could take a 1/2 inch off here, but let me show you what's going on in the back, okay? Flip them around, look at the back in the mirror. I just got my hair cut, so it shouldn't be too bad. But if they've got this long tail of stringy stuff, say, I need to take this off to about here. It's not going to change what you're seeing here. There we could still trim. This is doing nothing for you. It's, you know, it's a couple little strings pointing to your booty. That's it. Like, here's my booty down there. Okay, so get rid of those. We don't need those. So that's, you know, you just show them. Most of the time if you show people, then they're good with it. So that's how you show length, lifting it up. Don't pet the hair. We don't pet the hair. This doesn't show me anything. Okay, it's a nervous habit, don't do it. If you're gonna touch the hair, touch it with intention, okay? Look at different lengths. What would be flattering on this person? Can they wear short hair? How short can they wear it? Can they wear it real short? What's gonna happen to their hair when it's real short? Is it gonna look like, no. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Lift it up with intention so you can learn some stuff. Like, don't do this to me. Look at what that did to my jaw. Where'd it go? Okay. There it is, cover that up. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, lift with intention. So when you're doing a consultation, you could lift and you could say, I know that you only want to trim, but you know what? I lifted it about here and you could totally get away with like a more of a medium length haircut with some layers and that would look really hot, okay? Let them know that you're thinking about, I heard you, I'm only gonna trim this, but this would also look good in you. I know how to do this. I'm your woman. I got you. Do not go to the woman in Target whose haircut you like and think that her hairstylist is the only one that can do that. I'm letting you know I have options in here. Tons of options, spinning around. So we'll trim it today, but if you want one of those big old changes, I'm your person, okay? So that's length. Now we're gonna go to layers. How do we show layers, you say? I'm gonna show you 2 video layers later. 2 videos of long layers later. There's a lot of L's. So this is how we can show a client what layers look like. So slide it on in here, right to the round, okay, right to the round of the head there. Lock it in. I'm gonna show you a square layer right now, okay? Lock it in and lift it up, okay? This is what a square layer does to your hair. Did you see how this got a lot thinner down here? And I've got a lot of fullness right here, right where I took that layer to. Do we see that? Kind of Jennifer Aniston-ish. Okay, circa 1996. So, okay, so there you go. That's what that does. There is more of a stopping point. If I go to straighten this, I'm probably still gonna have like a heavy point here. But if I wear my hair kind of more shaggy, perfect. If I don't mind that this is getting thinner, a little bit thinner on the bottom, I have really thick hair, I've got hair to lose, you know, and have thinness and I want it to be more airy down there, also a good haircut. If I say, ooh, I really like my thickness at the bottom, I don't want to lose that, but I kind of hate how heavy the top is. That's what we'll call an inverted layer. Okay, so an inverted layer goes up and we cut it at an angle, okay, like this. So when it falls very short to long like that, very blended. I could straighten my hair, it can look all one length, but also when I do curl it, it'll give me some shorter pieces to kind of show. Okay, so how are we gonna do that? I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm not going to lock in like I did on the round. I'm going to slowly slide out, okay? Slowly slid out. Now you can see that it did kind of elongate, thin out this area, make it so it's not so bulky, but also it's very blended. You don't see that hard stopping point like you did the more dramatic stop of the square layers, okay? So the inverted made it very like blended, okay? So this is good for people who we want to leave that fullness on bottom, but we want to add a little bit of interest and something for them to curl and some movement on top, okay? So those are a couple of the layers to show. Also face framing, you know, we kind of lift and figure out where the most flattering part of their face is to start their face framing. Okay, so looking at features, I'll show you some stuff. So I like face framing. As far as beauty, how we visualize beauty a lot of times has been found that we are attracted to things that are symmetrical in beauty. Symmetry. A lot of models are very symmetrical features, and that's what's attractive to them. Most people are not perfectly symmetrical, not models. Okay, so let's talk about, that's our job, is to create this balance and symmetry. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this away so we can see what face shape I'm dealing with. Okay, so you can see, look at these cheeks. I mean, that is the most prominent thing on my face. Cheeks. I had a caricature drawn, literally just cheeks. Like, oh, must be Jen. She's got cheeks. Jen J. Okay, so cheeks. So here, my forehead is much wider than my chin. Okay, not symmetrical at all. So what I found is by not having bangs, or when I did have bangs, sweeping them here gives this illusion, right, that it's slightly more oval. Oval is the ideal face shape, says Milady Cosmetology. Okay, so if we're striving to be more oval, then me cutting off some of this wide forehead I have going on is good. You know, maybe even nick a little cheek there now and then. They don't go anywhere. But providing some fullness in through here where my chin is pointier. Okay, so that's where my fullness should be. Because do you see how this, okay, I've got the bang that gave me more oval effect, and as soon as I lifted and my layers filled in here, oh my God, is she an oval? She's not. She's a heart. She's a straight up heart, but I just tricked you, and now you think she's oval. Okay, so that's what we try to accomplish with layers. So, you know, we kind of figure out where my layers are gonna go. So now we're gonna move on to hair color. I've decided I want to be a level 7 all over with highlights, okay? No, it's my natural hair color, I promise. I haven't had my hair colored in like 3 weeks. Okay, so there's a lot going on underneath here. So here's what I would say. If somebody wants to be a level 7 with highlights, we need to first get this to a clean canvas level 7, okay? So obviously I have more going on, but even if this was my natural hair, it's not easy to get it to a cohesive level 7 that is appealing and is the tone that the client wants. So I'm all for doing multiple services together if it can work, but not if it's gonna cost me more work in the end. If I do it together, and now I don't love the color of my natural level 7, but now I've got all these level 9 highlights going through them, it's much more difficult to go back and try and fix my level 7 pieces when I have those level 9 pieces in there. Does that make sense? So I would benefit by saying, you know what? Our goal today is gonna be to get you to a nice level 7. I don't know if you can get there. Looks like maybe you got a couple things going on here, but we're gonna try for it. If I don't get you to a perfect level 7, it might be a little bit darker, but I'll make sure it's not that, you know, brassy that you don't want. So we will get you to a non-brassy color, but our goal is a 7. Our goal is to get your hair to this perfect hair color that you wanted of a 7. Then we'll worry about adding the highlights. If I have time, I will do them today. If not, I might have to have you reschedule for another time to add the highlights and just focus on getting this color, because I don't want you to leave and not love your color. So we might have to do this in stages. It's also recommended to have them fill out, we used to call them color correction forms, but that makes it seem like there's a problem. I don't have a problem with my hair right now. And then you shouldn't have a problem making me 7 to 9. So correction makes me feel like I did something wrong, okay? But a color change form, I am getting a color change. So what does this color change form says? It says this is what you are, This is what we've discussed. This is what our goal is. This is how many steps it's going to take us to get here. Because if I leave here and get amnesia that what we talked about, but I remembered that I showed you a picture and this isn't exactly it, and I forgot we said it was going to take 3 appointments, we have that paper to remind both of us what our goals were and what we expected, okay? So it limits the, we don't want anybody to be disappointed, you know, but we also want to give people exactly what they want with their hair being in the best condition possible. That's always, saving the integrity of the hair is always our goal. So now I've filled out the color correction form. We've talked about what we're going to do with color. And then we also, oh, I didn't talk about bangs. Okay, let's talk about bangs. I'm going back to haircut for a second. We talked about fringe, but I didn't talk about bangs. Okay, so you can kind of show what a sweeping bang looks like a little bit, right? And then this is a little bit what a sweeping bang looks like. Okay, maybe even pull it over further. Okay, but you cannot really show what a full bang looks like. I'm gonna show you why. I've seen people do this. Do you want a bang? Okay. Nope. Nope, I don't want a bang. If you want to talk your client out of a bang, show them the bang like this. Okay. No, I don't want that. Okay. But here's some of the things to consider. And I am going to have a whole video on cutting fringe. But here's some of the things to consider right now. Let's talk about that forehead, right? My forehead's wide. So if you give me a straight across wide bang, it's going to accentuate the fact that my forehead is wider. It's going to make my cheeks more prominent and point out the fact that I have a pointy chin. Okay, if I'm going against the odds, and there are some hairstylists and cuts that purposely kind of like accentuate the asymmetry in people's faces and stuff, and it's cool. You could play that up, absolutely. I'm not saying you can't have it. I've had it, but just know that you're kind of playing with the opposites there and like accentuating what normally people would want decentuated. Okay, so being that my forehead's wider and stuff, maybe you could suggest like a little sweeping bang or something like that, curtain bang so that it's here and then drops so that it still makes this look a little smaller. If I had a really small forehead, you have to start the bang back a little bit further so that it gives the illusion like I have more bang, so that it doesn't look like my forehead's just this, because believe it or not, that actually closes it off. It makes their forehead look even smaller, okay? So there's something. If they have a really large forehead, don't go and put like, you know, don't do that. Don't just give them that. Because then it looks like I have a really big forehead and even bangs can't hide it. You have to give them a thick enough bang to cover so that it's more appealing for them. So there's some things to consider when it comes to fringe. Okay, now I went on to hair color. We've talked about that. We filled out our consultation form. But I said, you know, my hair feels dry. I'm afraid my color is gonna fade, different things like that. So we're gonna talk about what shampoo and conditioner I'm using. We're gonna talk about what heat protectant I'm using because I said I curl my hair. We're gonna talk about detangler, proper care for the hair. I'm gonna do, you know, show how to blow dry. I have a colic. We're gonna show how to blow dry so that colic doesn't become prominent. So all of this stuff I'm taking care of in the consultation. So I'm gonna say, now we've talked about a lot. 23 minutes we've talked, okay? They probably don't remember what we started talking about, but let's go back, okay? So now I'm going to recap, okay? Recap. Okay, so you said you just wanted to trim, okay? Even though you could totally rock a whole new look, I do like your hair long. So we're gonna go ahead and just trim it. And then we're gonna give you some layers just to kind of elongate this, give you some more volume, open you up around your eyes. Still kind of, you know, sweeping so it doesn't, you know, make your forehead too pronounced. So we're gonna do this, okay? Like we discussed. We're gonna take you today to an all over level 7 without any brassiness. So that's what our goal is today. And if we have time, we'll add some highlights. But for right now, this photo, this swatch is what we're gonna try to get to. We might only get to here, but this is what we're gonna try to get to. But you sign the paper that says It's okay if I only get you to here, but this is our goal, okay? So we've got that taken care of. And I'm recommending our Color Protect shampoo and conditioner by Pravana, so to lock in your color. And then we're also going to use the Intense Therapy leave-in. We're gonna use the Hydro Pearl oil to kind of as a heat protectant. So I've got you all set now. I'm gonna actually put those up front. That way we can get busy and do stuff and then, you know, forget about what we talked about. So I'm gonna go put it up there and then I'll show you each of those products as I use them as well. So do we feel good about this? Yes, I feel good. I feel good. I think I feel good. Do we need to talk about price? Yes, thank God. I was afraid to ask, but yes, we do need to talk about price because I've already texted my mom 5 times because I don't know how much it's gonna be and if she's gonna have to add money to my account. Do not leave it on the client to be scared. Picture us as a restaurant that has no prices on the menu, okay? I go to a restaurant like that and I'm a little bit intimidated to be like, I'd like to also get a potato, but how much is the potato? And I'd also like a refill on my iced tea, but is it more for refills? These are the things that I don't want to seem cheap and ask, but at the same time, I'm paying for it. So we don't think about it. We don't think about like that people are having this internal struggle in their head. We just think, oh, well, they asked for highlights, they asked for a color touch-up, they asked for a haircut, they asked for these products. They know what everything's gonna be. They don't, okay? We do, and so it's our job to inform them, okay? So it's not an insulting thing like, it's gonna be a lot, can you afford that? Okay, we don't do that. We could just say, okay, do we need to discuss price? Like we've talked about a lot of different things. Do we need to discuss price today? And if they say yes, then we discuss the price, break it down for them. And then if they seem like, oh yeah, that's perfect, go ahead. Or if they say, ooh, that's more than I wanted to spend, then right now you have time to switch gears and say, okay, oh, look at my friends. We have time to switch gears and say, okay, well, then maybe we don't have to do all this today. Maybe we could just do a little bit of this and that'll cost this, and then we'll add this next time, okay? So then you don't have to hand your ticket up front and be scared that they are gonna be mad at you and wanna talk to Jay later about the price. It's much better for everyone if we're just super, on the same page from the beginning, okay? So that is the end of my consultation video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm getting ready to do some haircut videos, and those will be up on the page next. Hope everybody's staying safe. From my kitchen, J. Marie, consultation video out.